Hi guys, Dragon Warrior Reviews here, and today I'm going to be showing you the Hot Toys X-23 figure, also known as Laura, from Deadpool and Wolverine. So this is actually going to be the final figure from the Deadpool and Wolverine line I buy. If you are new to the channel, I have reviewed the Deadpool battling version, Kid Paul, and the TVA jacket Wolverine, or should I call him the battle damaged shirtless Wolverine. So there's a picture of X-23 on the box. I think this is the prototype, but done in this sort of comic book graded colour. Pretty cool. Do like this picture, and it says Deadpool and Wolverine up there, or Marvel Studios Deadpool and Wolverine. And just like the Deadpool box and the Wolverine box, there's a load of like bullet holes, sparks and stuff like that. Really nice. And there's a Wolverine sort of scrape on the box, as you can see. Pretty awesome. I wish the scrape only had 2 claws to represent that it was X-23 scraping the box, but I think they just wanted to keep the marketing consistent. And then on the back is the warnings and the legal information and their store locations, a Deadpool logo because it is a Deadpool movie, and more of the details we saw, the bullet holes, the sparks, stuff like that, and the bullets flying around the box. It's a really nice box, and then obviously the box is done in that sort of colour of her suit, the more bluey and black colours and grey, which is really awesome. It fits the theme of the figure. X-23 down there, Hot Toys, movie masterpiece, all that stuff. And then we take the slip cover off the box to reveal the figure inside, as per usual. When we, oh, I dropped the box, wonderful, or slip cover. But then, as you can see here, it says the best friends here, the best friends charm, Deadpool and Wolverine, looking great. And just like the other figures from the line, we've got all these doodles in the box, but we have this awesome Wolverine scrape here as well. I'm not sure if this is present on the other two. Pretty awesome, do love all these doodles. And then we've got a picture of the prototype of X-23, a Deadpool logo with Wolverine's claws going through it like the other boxes from the line. Ignore the sound in the background, that's just a boiler, that should go off later, but no one cares about that. All we care about is to see what this figure looks like. Alright, my first impressions of the X-23 figure is so far so good. Really like the look of it, the proportions look good, and that head sculpt looks a little weird right now because her eyes, it's one of those figures where you need the eyes looking up or to the side, not staring like that to make them, you know, look as good as possible, should I say. But that sculpted hair looks really good at the box, and that display base is huge. I'm really hoping that fits in the cabinet. Anyway, it's time to take X-23 out and all of her accessories so we can take a closer look at her and everything she comes with. Alright, I've got X-23 out of the box and all of her accessories. Now it's time to take a closer look, first of all, at the hands. Alright, I can't zoom in too far because my camera doesn't like it for some reason. It goes out of focus, but you can sort of see the detail. The detail on the hands are really good. The skin texture is really awesome. Don't know why there's a white mark there. I always get like some imperfections with the paint on my hands with Hot Toys figures. I don't know why. But yeah, these are her fingerless gloves. Very awesome. You get 2 of these hands. These are for holding her glasses, I think, in a pose, which is pretty cool. Then we get her claw hands. You get 2 of these ones, more flared out ones, which are really cool. The claws aren't die cast, but they look really good, and they do look like die cast. But be careful with them because they'll probably be quite fragile. And then we get 2 fisted claw hands, which is very awesome. And you get a pair of just regular fisted hands. And then you can remove these little caps on her shoes to put these sort of foot claws she has on, and they are magnetic and easily removable. Now we've got her bag. Hopefully this sits properly when you put it on the figure, but it looks pretty cool. It's got some padding inside of it, I'm pretty sure, to make it poof out a little bit. There's a little unicorn sort of like charm or whatever on the side there. It is really nice. Here we got her glasses here as well. The glasses she sort of stole from that shop in the Logan movie when she was younger, and she still has them in the Void in Deadpool and Wolverine, and you can obviously put these on the figure. Hopefully they look good. I'm pretty sure they do in the blogger photos, but in person they're probably going to look amazing. They're also see-through as well. With enough light you should be able to see X-23's eyes through the glasses. Very detailed, very accurate looking, and they'll probably be quite fragile, so be careful. We also get this switch out hairpiece, a more dynamic hairpiece, maybe when she's in action pose or the wind is blowing. Basically these hairpieces are magnetic, you just switch them out at the back. We'll take a look at this on the figure later. And finally, for the accessories, we have the Juggernaut helmet, very well detailed, really nice, with all the battle damage here, very nice. You can probably have her holding this as well, and you've got a little bit of like yellowy, coppery colour there, maybe to represent it's been like superheated. Very nice. Now, for such a small figure, she comes with a big display base. The one with Deadpool is not this big, but yeah, this is really awesome. It's very similar to the one we get with Deadpool, I think. Oh, actually, this display base is reused. I'm pretty sure this is like a reused mold from the battle damaged Obi-Wan Kenobi Darth Vader figure, but obviously they've just sort of dressed it up and made it look like it's from Deadpool and Wolverine. We've got all the snow, and then we've got the fire and the way, and basically, as you can see, there's a load of orange. It looks like the fire is reflecting. It's obviously not. It's not reflecting off these pieces. They have painted it to look like the fire is reflecting onto the rocks, which is absolutely incredible and very well detailed. Good job on that, Hot Toys. Very nice. I wish we got like a little cap piece to, or like a little rock to cover up the hole if you're not using the display base, or sorry, the crutch grab. It's not really a grab, a crotch arm, should I say? I don't know, but I guess that's just a little complaint. But yeah, love the display base. It's really cool, and she's got plenty of space to go crazy. And I think the reason why they made it so big is so you can put the Juggernaut helmet on there and have a sort of like putting a foot on it or something. I think that's why it's so big, because if it was small, it wouldn't really work. So yeah. So here we go, we've got X-23 standing up in front of me here in no particular poses or accessories or anything like that, just standing with a blooming weird flipping crotch arm. It looks so oversized and it makes it look weird. I'm gonna find a way to get her in a cool pose, but without the blooming rod up her flipping anus, because yeah, I don't think it looks very good. But yeah, the figure looks great. This is going to be, I'm going to split this part, a bit like the Wolverine. I'm going to split this part into 2 segments. I'm going to show her like this, and then I'm going to dress her up a little bit, put a backpack on, claws, glasses, and then show her like that, and then get her into some poses. I'm going to start off saying I'm not going to be taking the jacket off just because I just don't want to. Also, underneath her sort of shirt, she has a seamless sort of part as well, which is really cool. I've done seamless underneath the shirt, which is super awesome, and obviously seamless for the arms. But here we go. I think it's time to dive deep into the details. So here we go. We have her head sculpt. Now, how is the likeness? Is the likeness good? Does it look like Daphne Keane? And the answer is yes. I think it's pretty much perfect. The hair looks really good as well. Can't wait to try out that hairpiece later. You can't even notice there's a seam on there. There's a little, okay, you can sort of notice it there, but it's super hard to notice. Or more from this angle, you can sort of notice it. Maybe it's because I've got a head bent forward or something. I don't know. It's a little noticeable, but it really isn't that noticeable. I've got the eyes looking up to make her look more angry. I will be trying out some other eye positions later on, with maybe with some side eye, and see what the head sculpt looks like there. Yep, this is fully at the back. Hair looks a little weird when you've got a head looking forward from this angle, because it doesn't look very realistic. But obviously if you put the head more straight, it will. But if you've got her in a pose looking down from the front, you're not going to really notice the hair from the back. Here's her jacket. It's not wide, but it is really awesome. The pockets can open up a little bit as well, but with the hair in the way, it's not really that easy. And underneath, she's got her sort of logo on her shirt, the shirt she wears in the movie. She's got the belt with the X on it to represent, or X-Men, or X-23 should I say. Seamless arms, fingerless gloves. You can move these down if the joints start getting ugly. Really awesome. These little like wrist pieces are part of her gloves, should I say. Pretty basic trousers, not much to really say about this. Her outfit's really basic, and oh my goodness. The proportions are good, should we say. And yeah, but not much to say about the trousers. And then the boots are really awesome. I love her boots. There's a little bit of toe articulation. The joints aren't very strong, and there's an ugly seam there. So it's not the best thing in the world. And like I said, these are really easy to move. These toe caps here, they're magnetic, so you can switch out them for the claws. So as you can sort of see, sort of seamless torso. Was this necessary? I don't really think it really is, but I guess it's a cool detail knowing that she's got more seamless parts underneath her sort of top. Alright, so basically I've sort of changed how I've done this here. Basically I said there'll be 2 segments in the video. Instead what I've done is I put her into a first pose, but it's still going to be a segment of the video where I'm going to go through what it looks like, all the stuff on. I just want to say this was not fun to get her like this, and we're going to talk about it. So number one, these are just easy to get her in, get them in. Like I said, they're magnetic. You just, it's so simple just to switch those around. It's very intimidating, as you would expect. The claws, a bit difficult to get on the switch the hands round as well, but it's all right, not too difficult. Oh my god, here we go. This is where we want to talk about this. You see that seam there? I've tried to hide it as much as I can, especially for a pose like this. The hair looks really good, the way it's blowing in the wind. Don't get me wrong, I love that. But when you go to this side, basically the magnet's not strong enough. You have to pull the backpack down, the sculpted hair gets in the way, and there's a hot, ugly seam there. So when I get her into my main pose, I'm going to have the backpack on one side or one shoulder to make her look even more intimidating. Glasses are also a little bit challenging to get in, or get on, sorry, but when you do, very awesome. I would recommend just maybe taking off the back hairpiece first and then guide them under her ears. They're basically like real sunglasses, basically you put them on like you would in real life under her ears. But wow, these glasses look awesome. You can slightly see her eyes as well. Very impressed. I definitely like her with the glasses on more than without, in my opinion. She looks very cool. Open the jacket up a little bit as well. So yeah, I really like this pose. I'm just going to go out a little bit so you can sort of see it. Really nice. Isn't my best pose ever. Backpack looks good on her, but it's just, in my opinion, it's a bit too much of a pain in the butt, in my opinion, to get on. Yeah, I know the straps should be more underneath her hair, but they've sort of widened out a little. But if she's doing a stance like this anyway, they would, but I don't know. Like, Kidpool's backpack was sculpted. She also obviously has a mask and hood on, wasn't too bad. But this one is a little bit of a problem to get on. Not going to put her to too many poses. I think I'm going to do 2 more poses with her, and then we're going to call it for posing in this video, just because she has been a real pain in my booty. Alright, this is my second to last pose. Very, very simple. I've got her with some side eye on as well, holding her sunglasses. Got sort of her hand. So maybe like, then I've got a sort of a, then I've got this sort of claw hand, as you can see. Basically, she's maybe just killed Juggernaut. She's talking with a bit of side eye. She's annoyed, and she's sort of like doing something like that with her hand, because she's, you know, she's still eager. Or no, she's just, you know, been killing or fighting, so she's still quite annoyed, and she does look really awesome. I took that flipping hunk of a backpack off because it made the figure just look so weird with the seam around her, you know, where the hairpiece clips in. It just really annoyed me. But I really like this pose, really nice. She's such a really cool figure. Like, this figure looks really awesome in a neutral pose and also in a sort of action pose. My final pose is going to be sort of like in between, I think. I'm going to try and pull it off without me going insane, because my goodness, the first pose I did, wow, it was annoying. Oh, actually, I haven't covered that wrist peg. It doesn't really matter. This pose is not permanent anyway. The hands are so annoying, especially this hand is so annoying to get on without it falling off. Juggernaut helmet, you can literally put this wherever you want. You know that anyway, when I showed it in this accessory segment, it's just free floating, like I showed earlier. But just to double check you haven't skipped on the video, yep, you can put it anywhere. You can put it on her blooming head. You cannot put it on her blooming head. Just quickly, I want to show the head sculpt without the glasses on, with the flash on, to show a bit more of the detail. Loving that. Also, to move the eyes is really hard as well. I kind of wish the moving eyes were like, basically if you remove the hairpiece. Oh no, maybe it wouldn't work. But I don't know, maybe if I put magnets around the side, it would work. Basically, if I take off the hairpiece now, just like, oh gosh, almost fell over. Just like this. I wish like the moving, oh, maybe it wouldn't work though, but if I put magnets around this, I don't know. But it's kind of annoying because her head's quite small. It's kind of like annoying and hard to move her eyes, but with patience, you can get it. So here we go, this is my final pose. I will put the glasses on in a sec because I want them for my final pose, but she looks really good without the glasses on, so I'm going to show it first without them. So here we go. This wasn't too hard to get in, because basically the toe articulation is very weak, so this came out a bit like this. Where she's standing, it just pushes the joint up a little bit. Don't really like how that looks, but it's not the end of the world. It doesn't look that like realistic, because boots wouldn't bend like that. Or maybe they would, I don't know, depends what the material is. But we've got one claw with a sort of like a hand like this, and then more of a fisted hand. Pretty cool. I don't want her to fall over because the claws could break, so we're just going to bring her around very slightly. Got the backpack on one shoulder, the hair sort of flowing out. I think this looks really good. I was going to have her like, foot on the Juggernaut helmet, but it just didn't look good enough. I put the Juggernaut helmet to cover the little hole up where the crotch arm plugs into, which is kind of cool. That definitely hides it, not 100%, but pretty much. And yeah, got the jacket open quite nicely as well. And I'm liking that. Really, I've got the eyes looking up again. And yeah, as much as this figure's been a pain in the butt to work with, really do like the look of it. And it's been worth it to get it into all these different poses. With her blooming hand falling off every 5 seconds. It's been really not fun, but other than that, she is kind of a win in my opinion. Very nice. Let me just stick the glasses on quickly, and then we'll move on to the pros and cons section. Alright, I put the glasses on. As you can see, she does look, I kind of like her with the glasses on slightly more, just because it completes the look. She does wear these when she's fighting in the movie. I can see why people will display her without the glasses on, just because those eyes look awesome, especially when they're looking up like I did earlier. They look very intimidating. But just to change stuff up in the collection, I wanted to put the glasses on because obviously none of the other characters have glasses on. And I've got Wolverine looking upwards anyway, so yeah, really, really awesome. Alright, moving on to the two irritating and two great things about this figure. And this figure is really an irritation of just when you're posing her up and stuff, but she looks great anyway. But anyway, the first irritating thing is the backpack. Not really the backpack, it's more the hairpiece. Basically, the magnet isn't strong enough, really. It's really hard to get like the seam completely hidden. Right now, it's not 100%, but it pretty much is. But like, as you saw earlier, it's really difficult to push the backpack down, and the hair, because it's sculpted hair, it like pushes on the backpack. Maybe you could maybe heat the hair up and bend it out of place or something, or bend it so, I don't know, the back, so the hair sits better if you're going to keep her in a permanent pose. But I really think you shouldn't have to do that. The magnet should be slightly stronger, or maybe the hair should be a bit more flexible, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know how they could have, like, you know, fixed that. But it's just really annoying. It's fine now because I've got it on one shoulder, but it's just something which is kind of really, really frustrating. You'll see what I mean when you get yours in hand. The second irritating thing has a part A and sort of a part B. So I would say part A would be the sort of toe joint. So basically the seam is quite ugly. Kind of wish they were like seamless boots like we got with Wolverine. They were seamless PVC plastic. And number two, they're kind of weak, but I don't know, they really feel weak. The joints are very weak and they should be stronger in my opinion. And they look a bit weird now because basically they just are moving on their own when I'm sort of standing her up. And obviously, if these were seamless, it would look a lot better. It looks fine, but I just feel like they should have made them seamless. And the part B will be the joints for the hands. They seem quite weak. Like, this one's okay, but if you look at this one the wrong way, it's just going to fall off. Like, it just falls off any chance it gets. I bet you when I pick this figure up and put her in the cabinet, it will fall off again, probably. It's really frustrating. Maybe it's with my particular copy with this figure, but it's just really frustrating. Now, the first great thing is this display base. Number one, is big. It really is. So you can really get into your cool action poses. They probably made it big because you can put the Juggernaut helmet around it without it being too crowded. But the main thing I'm talking about is I love that what they've done here is they put some fire here, but they've sort of painted next to it to make it look like the fire is reflecting on the rocks. And I think that is amazing. Plus, you know, all the snow and stuff. It is a reused display base, but I don't really mind. Now, the second great thing is, honestly, part A and part B, yet again, I'm kind of cheating in this video. Number one, the glasses. The glasses look so good, just like from the movie. Shrunk down to 1/6 scale. You can see our eyes through them. They fit well. They look good. They don't look too big. They just look amazing. I don't know how they get these tiny details on such a tiny item. It's really awesome. And part B, do I really even need to say it? The head sculpt. Daphne Keane is there. It's perfect in my opinion. In my opinion, the head sculpt is perfect. You've got a sort of mole as well on the side. She looks absolutely perfect. So my final thoughts on this figure. Do I recommend it? Well, for the look, yes. She looks absolutely incredible. The presence, the proportions, the seamless parts of her body, even part of her sort of like torso is seamless underneath her shirt. They did not need to do that, but it's a cool detail, I guess. But yeah, it's a bit annoying, you know, like switching out the hands or switching out the, or putting the backpack on and stuff because the hairpiece, the magnet's not strong enough. It's kind of annoying. The glasses are a little irritating to get on, but it's not the end of the world just because, you know, it's not going to be the easiest thing. If they were easy to get on, they could be too loose. They fit in really snug. They don't feel too loose. And yeah, honestly, if you love X-23, I would get this figure. It's amazing. Maybe a little frustrating, but you know, sometimes just the way it is. That Hot Toys Battle Damage Doll Vader figure I bought was probably the most annoying figure I've ever worked with, especially the cape. But in the end, it looks great. Anyway, if you have enjoyed, hit the subscribe button and that like button. Comment down below what you think of this figure, or if you're going to be picking it up, or if you've already got it. And also make sure to check out my Instagram account. The link will be in my bio or the description if it doesn't break this time, because I think I fixed the link in the description now. It should be working, hopefully. Let me know if it does, or actually I'll find out when I post this video. But yeah, anyway, I'll catch you guys in another review, figure preview, or short.